Okay, so last Thursday I went to bed. Obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the Visit trailer, but I went to bed after watching that, and I slept fine until I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and I was laying still. Like, I could not move. I barely could breathe. I couldn't do anything. And so I was like really, really scared. And then I was getting all these kind of like nightmare dreams, but I was like wide awake. My eyes were wide open. I was just staring straight at the ceiling, and I couldn't even move one muscle. And obviously the dreams were of the visit. Um, if you haven't seen the trailer for it, you should go watch it so you understand this. But my first nightmare was that I was laying there and the grandparents came in and they were like dragging me out of my room. And then after that, I can't really remember, but it was like in snippets. But then after that, I was scared or whatever, and so I ran upstairs because my room's downstairs, and I went down the hall that goes to everyone else's in my family's rooms down at the end of the hall, and I didn't even make it because the grandma was just standing right there in the front, in the middle of the hall, and I went to go punch her, but then her mouth went like that big, and my fist went in it, and she like bit my arm off, and then I threw her to the ground. Then the grandpa, I can't remember what he did, but he was practically beating me to the ground, and then I woke up in the hospital. They had an IV in me because I lost a lot of blood. And they had the curtains, because I was in the emergency room, they had like the curtains around me. And then I started freaking out because I saw the grandparents just walking in, and they were like standing there. And then 2 seconds later, they weren't even moving. They were like closer and then closer and then closer and then closer. And so I was like freaking out because I was like kind of like the sliding doors were like right there, and there was like this long like hallish, and then my bed was at the very end, so I saw whoever was coming through the doors. And so they had the curtains just on the sides, and then I told them to hurry and close the front of it, and they're like, why? Like, there's nothing wrong. And I was like, hurry and do it now. The people that did this to me are coming. And they're like standing there like, what? And then next thing they know, my bed is like going really, really fast towards the door, and the IV gets ripped off, so it starts bleeding, like all this blood coming out of my arm. And then the bed stopped right at the sliding doors. They were starting to open, and I flew right out, and I landed on the cement that was just out of the door, and I was just laying there crying because obviously it hurt, and I think I broke like a wrist maybe. And the doctors were like starting to run, but they couldn't make it in time. And then it was kind of like an out-of-body experience, and I saw from the doctor's point of view that they didn't see anything, they didn't see anyone, but they saw like a little wiggly figure thing moving towards me, and so they knew that it was like a spirit or something. And I think it was the grandpa, he grabbed me and threw me against the wall, the like hospital wall outside. And then I fell back down crying even more. So then I tried getting up and running. And once I got to the doors, they like were just standing there letting me go practically. And they hurried and put me in the back of the bed. And they were like bandaging up all my wounds or whatever. And they put me back. And then I saw them coming back. Again, like how they were just standing there, but they kept moving forward like every second. And so I was like just screaming, and they didn't know what was wrong, but they were trying to help me. And then the next thing you know, the doctors are all gone, and it's just them. The grandpa's standing on one side and the grandma on the other. And the grandma was like, your time here is done or something like that. And she turned off the machine that was like helping me or whatever. And I think he was helping me breathe because I was in so much shock, and I just couldn't breathe on myself because I was hyperventilating too much. And so that stopped, and so I slowly stopped breathing, and I just died. And then I woke up in like hell or something, and the grandma was right there, and she said, "Oh good, you made it in time," and she killed me. I think she snapped my neck. And then I woke up again, and she just kept trying to kill me practically. And so, I don't know, it was kind of weird. And so that was my nightmare, like in just little snippets while I was just staring at the ceiling and I could not move. And after that, I was like jolted up, and I somehow walked out of my room, and I was walking down the hall, and I was kind of like half asleep kind of, but awake. I was aware, and I just stopped standing right in front of the bathroom that's next to my room. And I was just like, well, I need to go to the bathroom anyways. And so I went to the bathroom, and I really, really badly wanted to go to my sister's room, but I didn't want to walk down that hall and then have stuff happen. So I just went to bed, and, well, actually I didn't go to bed because it was like 6 in the morning and I needed to get ready to go to a wedding, so I did. And the next day after that, well, the night of that day, I was trying to go to bed, but my cat, I was like waiting for her to come down, and she went to my door, and she would not cross my doorway. She just had her paws right at the corner of my door, and she was staring at something underneath my bed. And if you know how cats stare with their big eyes, you know something scary is happening. And you know pets have kind of a different sense than you do. So I was like, there's something in this room. I grabbed my phone, I grabbed my iPad, I grabbed my pillow and blanket, and I didn't grab my cat, but I ran upstairs, and I just started bawling, and I told my sister what happened, and so we went to go down to get my cat, and I left the door wide open. I did not care if my dog went down there and peed in my room. I did not care. I left it wide open. When we went down there, it was closed. My cat was in there. And so we went up, got flashlights, and I was bawling, and I got my other sister. We went down there, we got my cat out, and she was just like, she looked scared, but at the same time she looked like, kind of like trying to figure things out. And we just grabbed her and came back upstairs, and now I've been living in my sister's room. Obviously, this is not my room. And so yeah, I'm never going to sleep in that room again, and my family is trying to convince me that there's nothing in there, but I don't believe them. So, yeah, that's my little story of what happened. I still want to go see The Visit, surprisingly, but I do not want to go back. So, yeah, that was my story about being possessed. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, and go down in the description below and see where you can follow me on other social media apps. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. And comment below if you find this interesting, or if I should do something to get this demon or spirit out of my room. I don't know. It might not even be real. I'm probably just losing it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!